What is up, everybody, and welcome back to some Mobius Double F with your boy Robbie Daggett. In this episode, we are going to be looking at the Prima Dona. This job is coming tonight to Mobius Double F Global. Looks like at 8 p.m. PDT tonight. Newest Sarah job. Let's take a look. And I guarantee you, by the end of this video, your mind is going to be blown, one way or another. Guarantee it. So let's take a look, and we'll further what I'm talking about here. But the Prima Dona, oh excuse me. So she looks good. Not as good as Knocked Fluke, but that's just my opinion anyway. But she is a Ranger type breaker. She has a single target attack, which we are going to be looking at a little bit closer. But it does say here that she's got high break auto abilities. She's got great Precinct Break, Flash Break, Fast Break, and then she's got more extended break in comparison to other jobs. I think from what I've researched, guys, that gives her 2 extra actions when the target's broken. So from 7 actions to 9, from what I understand. Okay. So she's also got very high wind and element. Very high wind and earth element enhance, and then she's got resistances to those elements as well. And then when she ults, she gives herself Faith Boost, Ranger Trance, and she also gives herself a freaking prism shift. Like, whoa! But that's not even the crazy part. So, This is going to be a very different video from how the normal videos go, because I want to show you guys something that kind of blew my mind a little bit, and it definitely, I just definitely feel like I have to share it with you guys. So here we go. Let's talk a bit more about the Prima Dona and about the current meta going on in Mobius Final Fantasy Global. So here she is, Prima Dona. We're looking at Altima.jp. If you ever wanted to follow along, you could always check her out there. She's very highly rated here. And then here we see she's got Earth, Wind, and Light elements. And there's really not much to say about her weapon. It does have Prism Draw on it. So if you're like really scrapping for a weapon for her on it, it's like kind of a downgrade from the Ultima weapon. So if you missed the Ultima weapon event, then maybe this weapon might be the one for you. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend more if you've got the Eorzi and Bard's weapon. That's a good weapon to me. And I don't know. There's really not too much else. Although this isn't a terrible weapon, honestly, but just not one of the best ones, I would say. But yeah, checking out her basic stats, we're looking at 13k HP, 745 offensive power, so that's just attack power, which only affects ults and regular auto attacks. She's got 1275 break power. Is actually pretty high for base break. And then base magical power 1006. Really nice base stats here, really nice balance. She looks super strong, honestly. And then let's look at her auto abilities. She's got something that we won't look at everything because it's a lot of stuff, but she's got Earth and Wind Enhance by 200% each. Also to help her to do damage, she's got, this is Painful Break 150%. So she does rival the Crimson Archer as far as Earth damage. She does honestly rival Crimson Archer. But from what I've understand and what I've researched, the Crimson Archer will do more damage to a broken target, where you will probably get a little bit more damage on a target that is broken with your Prima Dona. So it's kind of not worth having both set up, honestly. So I mean, you could use one. If you have both, you could use one as your, like, maybe your tower climber and use the other as your multiplayer mule. But I mean, it's really just nothing new as far as that goes. But I mean, there's no one else that has this much. No other ranger that has that's this strong with this much wind enhance. So it's not a bad job. It also has 50% light, wind, earth resistance. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Okay, no light resistance. Sorry about that, guys. No light resistance. But 50% to win and Earth, making that like kind of the go-to breaker for those two elements, especially in multiplayer. And then you've got piercing. No, this is painful break 150%, not bad. Weak point damage up. I feel like this will help a lot as far as doing damage, especially on target weaknesses. 50% is not bad. Crits, 50% more crits, and then you've got smart break, which is piercing break. So piercing break 125%. You've got flash break 125%, which we just went over in one of my last videos. If you're unsure what that is. Then we've got fast break, which is actually quick break, 20% natural quick break, which all the Sarahs have had so far, I believe. And then she cannot have her break power reduced. So this is where it gets a little bit freaking interesting right here. Now, at first, I had to so let me be honest with you guys. I had to totally redo this video probably like 4 or 5 times now, because I just keep learning new things and discovering new things in my research, and like kind of changing my mind a little bit as far as how I feel about some things. But okay, so at first I was a little bit disappointed that this was a single target ult, but then there was something I just noticed here. So this ult is powerful as heck, especially as far as break power goes. I don't think there's no one in the game right now with this much break power on their ult. 4,200% break power on the ult. Holy crap. Plus the Faith boost trance and the Rainbow Shift, making me finally consider using a job without a skin purely for the utility. Let me kind of show you some stats for some other jobs, and I'll show you what I mean. First of all, let's look at the lightning skin. This is the lightning skin on the same website. Let's talk about it a little bit, just as a little segue to kind of show you how strong this job actually is. But the lightning skin, everybody loves the lightning skin. You'll probably want to use it anyway, because it does give all sorts of great buffs, including a little quicken, like a small quicken, which is always nice to have. But we're finally getting to the point where we're power creeping even the skins, you guys. We are power creeping even the skins at this point. I always thought this was like godly break power, but this is 2,000 break power, which means you could, in theory, get more than double the break power on a single target than you could by using a skin with this job, with the Prima Dona. And just to show you just kind of some other jobs, power, there's no one even close when we're talking about this much break power and offensive power. So I mean, that was Crimson Archer. We see there she's got 1,700 break percentage, and then 3,300 is pretty dang good for offensive power, but just no one comes close to having that much break power. I mean, we see here, even if you have a Eorzean Bard, she's got the 2,000 break power there, but it's also, you know, a single target, so a little bit less worthy, honestly, than even the Prima Dona. But yeah, here's the stats of the Noct Fluke, and as you can see, just no one is even close to that spread. But this is where we are these days. But just wanted to show you that because it did kind of change my opinion, and it would kind of change the way I use this job. And I don't know, I thought it was worth sharing. It kind of blew my mind when I saw it, that we're finally seeing things that are strong, that can be possibly stronger than even using a skin on top of this job. I mean, you know, it's debatable for sure because of the other starter abilities that a skin would even give you, but honestly, it's not a bad job. It looks pretty good. It's got a nice balance, a nice spread of stats there. And you know, it's a great job. It's just on a kind of bad banner. Let's talk about a bit more about the banner. The banner's not terrible, honestly. It's just that shift cards are kind of hard to use because they convert all your cards over to whatever element that you're shifting, which is great for when you're going to spam attacks. But when you need more elements or even some heart orbs or something like that, then it's a little less helpful. But still really cool in case you're missing any of these elements, and they are damage focused multi-strike overkill. So, not terrible cards, just not worth pulling for those with limited resources, I would say. But you get a warrior one, that's wind, you get a ranger one, that's earth, you get a mage one, that's fire, and you get a monk one, that's dark. The monk one is the only one in here that's break focus versus damage focus. But they're all multi-strike overkill, so it could be an interesting set of cards, but they are staying in the pool permanently, so really nothing worth spending your hard-earned resources on, unless you just really want all this stuff. And then all the same stuff is in the pool. All the Supremes can always be pulled all the time, and all the skins can always be pulled all the time as well. But the cool thing, very, very last thing we'll go over here is starting tonight, Musashi, Mesminer, Nausicaa, Grandhorn, Arthur, Kojiro are all coming to the ability shop. And the reason why I think this is cool is because these cards are all actually pretty dang strong, and they've helped me out a lot on say Hall of Fames and stuff like that. And I don't know how I would have done it without cards like this. So I would really recommend them if you've got some holes in your decks, if you've got some elemental holes in your decks and everything. But let me know what you guys think about the banner, about these jobs coming our way, about the meta, about the power creep. It's all good, it's all fun. Oh, I love Mobius Final Fantasy, and I'm excited to be able to share information with you guys. If you have anything you want to share with me, go ahead and drop it down below. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking out this video. If you liked it, don't forget to thumb it up. Hit that subscribe for more future Mobius Final Fantasy and other awesome games. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be a crazy next couple of weeks, you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Best of luck to you always, and I'll catch you later.